part of the petition is also anchored on the dysfunction within the commission, that is the electoral body itself. But then, where did the rubber meet the road on this case?
The rubber met the road on the 8th at the polling station, where the will of the people were expressed. Now, it looks like I have many candidates for my law school. The president sentiment, it is both. It started at his polling station. He saw the numbers there because he saw people queuing. He saw the process there because his fingerprints were verified through the KIMS kit. And he was able to be given a ballot and vote manually, which were counted. So the splitting of hair is unnecessary. Secondly, a weak petition is a weak petition. Whether you turn it to 8 different petitions, it is just that one weak petition in 8 weaker and diluted petitions. And when I was talking to some strategists, they told me that, you know, we saw what you guys did in BBI. You had 17 issues, and BBI could not survive because one of the issues had to catch BBI. So it was a Photoshop of the BBI strategy litigation that, boy, did it backfire. The idea of numbers is 50 plus 1. But the process has been, was seriously, what was one of the questions that the court asked? Was the electronic system transmission of the election,
was there interference?
Did it reach the constitutional threshold, even besides the interference? Which is, was it verifiable, accountable, simple, and accurate? Now, that is about the process. Now, somebody was misled, and that is why law is not just English. Because in this petition, now I have found a lot of people arguing with us who, because they feel they can read English, and this thing iko hapa na nimeisoma, and I know A, B, C, D. Law has some principle. So somebody went to 2017 and said 2017 ignored the numbers. That is where the qualitative test came. They simply said, even if we don't get to the numbers, the process was not conducted according to the law. That is where the process comes. Why? Because Chebukati announced in 2017 before he received all Form 34A. Why? Because the provisional measure that they, results that they said were text messages that were unreliable. Why? Because when he was asked to bring Form 34A to court, he brought a lot of carbon copies and a lot of photocopies and not the original. Why? Because he was asked to open the server. What did he do? He refused to open the server. So now, come 2022, somebody imaginative thought that we will have another open the server moment, not knowing that Chebukati have learned from the mistakes, and this time he's actually cajoling and pushing everybody to the portal. And you know, people have vivid imagination that server is probably something in a dark room somewhere with the angels around it and wings and whatever. Server is simply where you are telling from, and everybody was allowed into the server. Now, finally, there is one thing that my law professor taught me, that as a lawyer, you don't ask a question you don't know the answer. Because how will you know if I'm lying to you? Now, these petitioners, on their own motion, moved to seek for scrutiny without knowing what they're looking for, and without knowing whether there are mistakes that will be fished out in the scrutiny. And when they were given the scrutiny, and boy, it came out that the numbers tally. It was obvious, even if you are a judge who wanted to help them. How do you do it? When they went through the system and it was opened, and Amagos and all those other names, amigos, were last there in July and not in August, then you see counsel like Murgot trying to say that, you see in August, where it now took Justice Lenaola to say, which report are you looking at? So that scrutiny became the death knell. In short, this is the issue. The Constitution came to develop political hygiene. And that political hygiene means this. There is a place for conceding. There is a place for saying, I don't know what happened in this election, but whatever. But you cannot play along, as Arnold is saying, and make Supreme Court part of your strategy that even if, you know, the way we used to sing, Hata Nikifa and Tatawala Tena, even if I'm defeated through Supreme Court, I will reincarnate and come back and declare me. But also the election is bad. So the Supreme Court, look at the question finally. The Deputy Chief Justice was asking. They were actually not questions, they were comments. She was asking that when I saw the 4 commissioners, I thought they would give us alternative numbers. It cannot be that Chebukati annoyed me, therefore, as a commissioner, I've worked out those results are not valid. It has to be about the numbers because it started at the polling stations. When she was saying, now we repeated Kakamega, what was the voter turnout in Kakamega? Those were not questions, they were very big hint. Now, when Professor Smokey was saying, leave alone the aliens and the giants who hacked your results in the server. How about those forms that traveled on road from polling station? How come they tally with what was here? I mean, if it was people without courage like me, I would have taken off running because it was obvious.